For 3 years, they told you the same story. It is inflation. It is the supply chain. It is forces beyond anyone's control, nobody's fault, just the weather of the economy. And you believed it. Because what choice did you have standing in the dairy aisle watching the price of milk climb like it was trying to escape? Then a Kroger executive sat down in front of the FTC and, under questioning, admitted the quiet part. They raised the price of milk and eggs above what it actually cost them, on purpose. And it was in writing the whole time. Here is the line. An internal Kroger email said, quote, "Retail inflation has been significantly higher than cost inflation. Read that twice. Retail inflation is the price you pay. Cost inflation is what it cost them, and their own email says the gap between the two was significant. In plain English, the price went up more than the cost did, and the difference did not fall out of the sky. It went into the register and stayed there. That is not a market. That is a decision, written down, signed off, filed away, until a regulator made them read it back out loud. Now follow the money, because the money does not lie even when the press release does. Kroger reported $466 million in profit in a single quarter. Year to date, $1.4 billion. That was nearly double the year before. Double. So while you were rationing eggs and pretending the kids did not notice the cheaper cereal, the company that sold you those eggs was posting record numbers. The pain in your cart was not a side effect of their struggle. The pain in your cart was the strategy that produced their profit. And do not let them tell you eggs were a fluke. The price of eggs more than doubled between 2022 and 2026. The average household now spends somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 more a year on groceries than it did in 2020. That is not pocket change. That is a car payment. That is a month of childcare. That is the difference between making rent and not, sucked quietly out of the most basic thing a person buys, food. The one expense you cannot opt out of, which is exactly why it is such a perfect place to hide a price hike. They even tried to get bigger. Kroger and Albertsons wanted to merge. That deal would have created the largest supermarket combination in American history, controlling more than a fifth of the entire grocery market before the FTC stepped in to challenge it. Think about what that means. More than 1 in 5 grocery dollars in the country, under one roof, by two companies that had already been caught raising prices above cost. The plan was never to compete the price down for you. The plan was to remove the competition that might have. There is a word for this, and it is not inflation. It is greedflation. Inflation is impersonal, a thing that happens to everyone. Greedflation is a choice somebody made in a meeting, using the cover of inflation to push prices past their costs because they bet you would blame the economy instead of them. And they were right. For 3 years, they were completely right. The genius of the trick is that the same headlines that scared you about prices were the camouflage that let them raise prices. The fear did the marketing for free. So here is the part that actually matters. You cannot coupon your way out of a system built to extract from you. The discount they dangle is just the price they were always going to charge with a costume on. The only real defense is to stop being purely a consumer at the bottom of someone else's profit chart and start being an owner somewhere the value flows back to you. Because the shopper has no leverage, the shopper just absorbs, the owner has a claim, and every dollar of that $1.4 billion belonged to somebody. The only question is whether it is ever you. Retail inflation has been significantly higher than cost inflation. Tape that to your fridge. Because the next time a company tells you their hands are tied, that prices just are what they are, remember that one of the biggest grocers in the country put the lie in an email and got caught reading it back. It was never the weather. It was a decision. Wake up is not the slogan. It is the moment you stop blaming the economy for a choice that had a name, a salary, and an email address. If that made you do the math, good. I put the ownership idea into practice with MXEL, where the people who build the value earn a stake in it instead of just paying the marked up price forever. This is the ownership stuff in practice. MXEL at mxe.com. Stay loud.